So I went into the shower and locked the door, and next thing I knew he came in there and got in the shower, and that's where the assault took place.
He was 17 years old. That summer, 1988, he'd been invited to help with a hockey camp in Regina. It was run by a Regina Pats coach named Bernie Lynch. Now this was a big deal for a junior hockey star with NHL dreams. The plan was for the teen to be billeted at Lynch's apartment. He went there and says the coach first got him drunk and then sexually assaulted him. Terrified and traumatized, the man says he told his parents but refused to go to police. He's telling his story now for others who were on teams coached by Bernie Lynch.
If there's any, kids in Edson or Fort Francis or Humboldt or anywhere that they had him as a coach and they have a story to tell, that they'll have the courage to come forward and tell that story.
He's 50 now, angry and sad at the career that never was. He kept playing after that summer, but he says it wasn't the same. Into his 20s, he bounced from team to team, going from clutch scorer to not showing up.
So for a kid that had a hockey stick in his hand, from the time he could walk, and now I'm not showing up for playoff games, and none of this made sense all these years until I read the articles and was starting to piece everything together.
In March, CBC reported that Lynch had been suspended from his coaching job with the Fort Francis Lakers in Northern Ontario and was under investigation by Hockey Canada. Then in April, that he was under investigation by RCMP in Edson, Alberta. The man didn't know until seeing these stories that Lynch was still coaching. He went to Regina Police after seeing the CBC stories.
I felt that I needed to take the next step and do that for them and do it for the 17-year-old version of myself that I've been carrying around this all these years. Because when I read those stories, I felt the guilt that I hadn't done more.
He says the decision not to go to police 30 years ago came with a personal and professional cost. Hockey in the 80s could be a mean place.
Later on in my junior career, we were playing against another team, and one of my opponents had said to me, "How was weekend at Bernie's?" And I was like, I wasn't surprised, because I knew people knew, and especially in hockey, somebody on that team who knows somebody on that team, and word gets around.
Lynch didn't respond to requests for comment from CBC today, but has previously said he's shocked by allegations of misconduct and considers them part of a smear campaign. But this man says knowing Lynch has been charged brings a measure of peace.
You're sitting here now as I said, an adult male. Instead of Dan Zakreski sitting across from you, it's your 17-year-old self. What do you tell that kid now?
It's not your fault. And it's okay to speak up. It's just not your fault.
Dan Zakreski, CBC News, Saskatoon.